Welcome to Movie Life Crisis. Join us as we watch the best movies from 30 years ago.
His talent made him a winner.
You're so different from the other boys.
His style made him a leader.
You don't have to live up to anybody else's expectations. You are who you are.
Being a gentleman made him desirable.
I have a secret. I think about you.
Being different changed everything.
You did this!
Brendan Fraser.
Coward!
School Ties. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, September 18th.
He sold tortillas on the corner.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is
Little tortilla boy.
Nah! Okay, School Ties. Movie Life Crisis, Season 2, Episode 18, School Ties. Episode 18, by the way. We are flying through this year.
I cannot believe it's already 18. That's really fun.
I think we got 25 or 26-ish. We'll see how the year finishes up, but we're 2/3 of the way through.
That's amazing. I'm really excited. It's really fun because the last couple of movies, if you remember, I wasn't feeling too much. You're making me watch a lot of old Westerns and shit, and I'm just not feeling it.
We picked a movie that shoots indoors. No one's outside. There's no cows.
Oh, I don't have a problem with outdoors. I have a problem with...
No one fished at all in this movie.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Dude, I like this movie. I'm really glad that we did it.
Yeah, me too. I actually looked at it through a different lens as I watched it now.
What movie did you think this was?
No, this is the movie I thought it was. The problem is I got about 10 minutes in and I was like...
You kept waiting for Robin Williams?
No, not Robin Williams. I was like, where the hell's Matt Dillon? I was like, Matt Dillon's in this. I know he is. And then I realized, no, it's Matt Damon plays a guy named
Matt
Dillon.
Damon playing a guy named Dillon. Yeah, the whole time I wrote in my notes like 3 times. I'm like, yeah, and then Matt Dillon did. I was like, it's not Matt Dillon.
Right.
It's Matt Damon, and his character's name is Dillon.
Yeah, that I don't know why. It was ingrained in my head. Matt Dillon and his big teeth from, what's the movie with the hair gel? He's got the big teeth in that.
Something about Mary.
He's got the big teeth. I was just picturing him being in this movie. But he wasn't, and that's okay because
he totally could have been. This movie had like every
could have replaced him.
Like early '90s teen beat, tiger beat, heartthrob, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, Movie Life Crisis. I'm JT. You're Jeff. We're here doing School Ties, 1992. Brendan Fraser, Matt Damon, not Matt Dillon.
Yeah,
Chris O'Donnell, Ben Affleck's in there a little bit. Doesn't really have a lot to do.
That's all right.
Another guy whose name I can't pronounce. I keep calling him Balishnikov, but that's the ballet dancer.
That's not him.
That's not him. Let's see. Pretty Woman is coming out, I think, maybe next week on Patreon. Actually, by the time this episode drops, Pretty Woman may be out on Patreon. So if you want to hear bonus content from 1990, you can join our Patreon. Any of the tiers will get you access to the bonus episodes, and it's just a way for you to support what we're doing. And $5 a month, you can support the arts.
That's Tears with an I, though. Although, hopefully, you laugh so hard that it'll be Tears with an A.
Like Tears on a Wedding Cake versus Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton, MTV Unplugged. Shout out to our 2 newest Patreons, Jen and Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
We have people signing up for the Patreon slowly but surely, which is
so
unbelievable.
Awesome. I can't believe it.
That's super fun. And that means we get to keep recording movies from different years.
Yeah.
So we're on 1990. We got Total Recall will be the next one we recorded. Coming out on Patreon, we'll also have Tremors. We'll have Dick Tracy. I think we talked about like House Party and... what's the Robbins Racing Harry?
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah, Days of Thunder.
So yeah, we got some fun 1990 movies.
Yeah, Kat and I were talking about it, and she was like, "So wait, if nobody joins Patreon, are you going to keep doing the extra stuff?" And I was like, "Well, I want to, so I hope so."
What's she talking about? Nobody? Does she? She thinks that we're only doing this because people are listening. She doesn't know us at all. If she thinks that we wouldn't keep doing it for nobody.
No, she knows because she knows that. If asked, we'll just start recording extra podcasts and not even release them.
Yeah, that's what Patreon is. We started recording content that no one asked for and then released it to no one, and we're happy to do it.
Yeah, it's super fun. I'm glad we're getting to go backwards.
Yeah, me also, because 89 has got some phenomenal movies. So next year, Patreon will move backwards into the 80s, and I cannot wait to do the original Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah. Man, the 80s are going to be fun.
All right. Name that tune, Back with a Vengeance.
Oh, my God.
It's a gimme.
Why?
Here you go.
I don't know what this is. Is this Life is a Highway by Tom Cochrane?
All night long.
My kids know that song, but not from him. They know it by Rascal Flatts.
They know it from Cars,
Yeah,
Rascal Flatts.
Speaking of Cars, I saw a tweet right before we came on and started recording, and it was it was like a back and forth between a guy and his girlfriend, and she was like, "Look, my dad's really into cars, so just make sure if you're going to talk to him about cars." And he said, "So I sat down, and first thing I said was like, all right, let's talk about Pixar's greatest movie."
You mean the Doc Hollywood remake, Pixar's Cars?
Pixar's Cars, a.k.a. Doc Hollywood with cars.
Earthquake insurance is something I'm keen to take a whack at.
Yeah, if you haven't heard our Doc Hollywood, that was one of the first ones, and those were definitely fun.
That was super fun. Is this one of the long ones, Doc Hogue's talking? Somebody check Hollywood for knives. I don't want them operating on me later in case I sneeze.
Oh, if you can part with the pig.
All right, Life is a Highway. Dude, I knew you would get that song immediately. I thought that the artist might trip you up.
No.
Because I asked a couple people in real life, like I just said, like, life is a highway. Like, who sang that? And they're like, I don't know. Or they would say Rascal Flatts, and I'd be like, that's wrong.
No, they did sing
It's right, but it's
right.
wrong.
It's not the right. I only know that because Johnny had the CD in his red truck.
Dude, I couldn't name another Tom Cochrane song, but I love that one.
There's another Tom Cochrane song?
I don't know. That song had like 47 million views on the YouTube. It was number 18 on the year, 1992. All right, tell us about this movie. Give us a synopsis.
Set in the 1950s, a star quarterback is given his opportunity to attend an elite prep school, but must conceal the fact that he's Jewish. I have a quick question. Prep school. Prep stands for what?
Preparatory.
Preparatory? Preparatory?
Preparatory. They said in the movie, this is one of the finest preparatory schools in the country.
Yeah, but he even put a different emphasis on a different syllable. And he said like...
Preparatory?
Preparatory. That's how he said it. He said preparatory.
He put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Boy, did he. He needs to asses the situation. Yeah, when he said that, I was like, oh, that's what prep stands for. That's right, prep school. And then I was like, preparatory doesn't sound right. And then I just kept saying it. I like paused it, and I was like sitting in the room by myself going, preparatory, preparatory, preparatory.
Like if you say any word enough times in a row, it starts to lose its meaning as language.
Right.
Like if you just say window like 50 times in a row at the end of it, you're like, I don't even know. That's such a stupid word. Why do we even have that word?
Roads.
Crunk, why do we even have that lever? Anyway, this movie written by Dick Wolf, creator of Law and Order.
Wait, we're skipping. Wait, we're skipping.
We are. I wanted to get the soundbite in there quick. I wanted to catch you off guard.
Oh, it's going to catch me off guard anyway.
We downloaded the Law and Order sound so that anytime we say Dick Wolf, we can hit it.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
That's it. It's a Jewish kid that wants to go to Harvard.
Brendan Fraser gets recruited as a quarterback. They bring him in as a ringer to this finest preparatory academy in the nation.
Preparatory.
And then he
Shout out.
has to keep it a secret. Shout out, kill you. He has to keep it a secret that he's Jewish because Matt Damon and all of his other D-bag friends apparently don't like Jewish people, I guess.
That's definitely a thing in the 1950s, right after we just fought a war about it.
Right. And also now, no,
it's definitely now
all
too.
Right, let's finish the by the numbers before we get into the...
Start getting angry about it.
Before we get into the analysis.
Oh, man.
$18 million budget, $14.7 million gross. This is the second money loser we've done this year. Shout out Captain Ron.
That stinks, man. This should have made some money.
I think this made a lot of money on VHS because of all the people in it who ended up being stars, but it didn't open big and it didn't make a lot of money and it didn't make its budget back. And it sucks because if you do that in Hollywood, even if the movie ends up being awesome, everyone doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Like, this movie's good.
Like, I don't really look at budget and gross when I'm trying to decide whether or not a movie's good.
No.
So I don't know. That really sucks.
It seems silly that anyone would consider how much a movie costs and how much a movie made before trying to determine whether it was any good.
Who cares? It cost $50 million. Still cost me $8 or whatever it is. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. To spend all the money, it's the same for me. I get why the studio cares if it makes money. I don't understand why the critics care. Like, why is anyone writing in a paper that a movie lost money?
Right.
Was it good or was it not good?
Right. That's all you're wondering too. Yeah.
Awards?
I didn't find any. No.
Sequels or spinoffs?
I think the Jews would beg to differ that this isn't a sequel. because this happens. This classic "blame the Jews" story happens through all of history.
Yeah, it definitely
That's
does.
why I feel like there was no sequels and there was no spinoffs, unless you count all of the stuff in the news lately about anti-Semitism.
Tale as old as time,
Right.
Song as old as song.
Yeah. So I didn't find any spinoffs, but
Do you remember when and where you first saw this?
no, I don't really remember specifics on this one. I remember it was in high school because I can remember me talking about how much I liked it. And somebody, I want to say Byron Ventura, told me I liked it because of the shower scene. And he was like giving me crap about it. I remember seeing it, and I remember it being at the house on White Drive, but I don't remember like anything else about it.
So just to be clear, like in the mid 90s, someone was so homophobic that they made a joke that you liked this movie because in this movie there were some shower scenes where no one did anything sexual and you didn't see any body parts.
Right. I think he was just giving me crap. And also, I just turned it around on him. I was like, how'd you know there were shower scenes? And he was like, Horn. I can vividly remember that being in the locker room changing for PE.
I don't have any memories associated with this movie, but I know I saw it in that same time frame, probably like mid 90s, maybe junior high, high school. Maybe it ran on TV a lot, or maybe it ran on HBO during the summer when you got the free month of HBO. Because I definitely saw it more than one time, and I don't think I owned it.
Yeah, I definitely owned it. It's in the CD stack. I went and looked.
No, I probably own it now, but I'm saying in the 90s,
yeah.
I don't think I did. I probably later on picked it
Right.
up in my DVD acquisition phase.
Yeah, the 550 bin. I did have a note right here that I put right after the shower scene. There was an interview with Brendan Fraser where he was talking about the production crew ran out of hot water while they were shooting that scene where they fought in the shower. So a bunch of that scene was shot using cold water. And I think if I was going to be on film with my junk hanging out, I would definitely try to use the excuse that there was cold water. That way.
There was shrinkage.
There was shrinkage.
Chimmy Dogs, 1 to 10, no 7s. Where do you rank it?
I gave it a 6.
All right, you got a 6. 6 Chimmy Dogs.
6.
I got a 6.5.
6.5.
IMDb is 6.9 out of 10.
Nice.
Rotten Tomatoes is like 80% for the regular people and like 60% for the critics.
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of right in that
Right.
60 to 70% range.
Yeah, I gave it a 6. The only reason I gave it a 6 though is because like while it's memorable, it's not one that's like
There just weren't enough shower scenes.
that's what it was. Not enough shower. No, it was memorable. I just it's not one of those ones where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to watch that again. That was riveting.
I read an oral history that came out on the 25th anniversary, but somebody, and I think maybe it was Chris O'Donnell, said that they thought that this movie didn't do that well because it came right on the heels of what's the "Oh Captain, My Captain" movie? Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, Dead Poets.
And it's like everyone, he basically said, like, I think everyone was upset that it wasn't as good as Dead Poets Society, and that had just come out. And so they said, like, oh, School Ties, is it any good? And everyone's like, nah, it's not as good as Dead Poets Society. Don't go see it. And his point was kind of like, just because it's not as good as a really good movie doesn't mean it's not fun to watch, which is kind of how I feel about it. It's not as good as Dead Poets Society, but it's a good watch.
I don't, this is horrible. I think I've seen Dead Poets Society like twice. I don't even remember what it's about. That's not about Jews, is it?
No, it's not. But it's about a bunch of kids in a preparatory academy.
Preparatory. Yeah, I don't, why even compare those? That's like, hey, did you see the new Star Wars? Yeah, but I've already seen the new Batman, so don't go see Star Wars. It's not as good. What?
Because it's a bunch of like teenage boys in a preparatory academy.
Fighting in a cold shower.
Yeah, I think there was probably a shower fight in that one. A kid hangs himself because this teacher's too hard on him. It's a lot of similar themes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't remember. I need to go back and watch that again. What year did that come out?
I think it came out in 89 or 88, somewhere like
Sweet.
that.
Cool.
Might catch that on the Patreon tour in the next couple of years. I like that
the
movie.
Patreon tour.
The Patreon tour of our recording closets / TVs.
1989, by the way.
89, boom. Oh, man, next year on Patreon, original Michael Keaton, Tim Burton Batman, Dead Poets Society, Oh Captain, My Captain.
No, Captain, My Captain.
Another movie about a preparatory academy.
Yes. Can't wait to say preparatory again.
But the thing about that movie is that Dick Wolf wasn't involved.
Oh, man. I need that on my phone.
I'll send it to you. Best scenes?
Okay, best scenes. I didn't have a lot in this one, but the part where they go to the school dance with the neighboring girls' preparatory school, that whole thing was pretty awesome.
Wait, so are you talking about just the scene when they're at the dance?
Yeah, when they're at the dance. The dance itself. When Brendan Fraser's like throwing it down and sliding his feet around, and they got the powder on the dance floor so they can really slide around. And the teachers are walking around and putting the balloons between the kids and like, leave room for the Holy Spirit. Like that whole thing.
Yeah, I got that. And the guys are like pouring the flask into the punch. It's like, try the punch.
And Matt Damon made my mouth gape open by dropping the N-bomb right in the middle of the movie.
He, like, hard R, just like laid it down. I was like, oh my God.
And he was like smiling when it was like, he just went right through it.
Yeah, I was like, was this thing set in the 1650s or the 1950s? Because he came right out.
Oh man, 1950s. That's how they was.
Yeah, that's the golden age that everyone wants to go back to.
It's good stuff. And also Earth Angel played, and that song still slaps, or
that song's great.
Whatever the kids are saying now.
It's a bop. I don't know. We'll have to, like, every 2 years we'll edit in the new slang for good songs into all our old episodes. So it seems like we're always on the
Earth Angel goes hard, man. That's fire.
Earth Angel goes hard in the paint.
I put the whole thing, leave room for the Holy Spirit. Man, it's like he's half and then drops the N-bomb. And then that whole scene, I really liked it.
Yeah, that was good. I liked how, because the academy goes from, I guess it must go from like first grade to senior year, because this dance where it's like the men and women's preparatory academies, it goes down to like, there's like 8-year-olds or 10-year-olds there. So there's like little kids, and then there's also 17-year-olds all in the same room, like drinking the spiked punch and dancing and being weird looking.
Yeah, but the younger kids were like standing by the food and like pulling each other's fingers and farting in front of girls and stuff like that.
I just can't imagine having been to a dance in high school where like the elementary school kids were also there at the dance.
Yeah, agreed.
I definitely can imagine a nun coming around and saying, leave room for the Holy Spirit, because they literally did that.
Yeah, Sister Phillip had a ruler.
We went to one of the finest preparatory academies.
Preparatory.
But we did go to Catholic school, and there were nuns, and they damn sure walked around with a ruler going, leave room for the Holy Spirit, while you were slow dancing.
I can vividly remember dancing and them coming by and say, leave room for the Holy Spirit, and you had to like back up. You're like, my arms were almost completely extended straight. And then they go next to me, and I think it was Todd Oglesby, and she goes, leave room for the Holy Spirit. Sister, you gonna need a bigger ruler, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my goodness. That was great. I never got close enough for anybody to ever wonder, what is that in his pocket?
I'm pretty sure I didn't either. I was leaving enough room for several Holy Spirits because I was terrified.
My whole problem is I was singing really loud, so the poor person that was dancing with me was like, I just can't. But I can love you like that. I'm not supposed to sing along with that? All for one, man.
Not only was I singing really loud, I was also rapping along to $E a lot. Now, my first scene was the scene before that, actually, where all the guys were showering together. Sorry, whoever made that joke. I actually did like the shower scene. Not because anyone's butts were showing, but just because they were all talking about, like, oh, so-and-so is going to be 5th generation Princeton, so-and-so is going to be 5th generation Harvard, and then one of the guys is like, I don't even know why you'd want to go to Princeton and Harvard. It's all Jews and commies, and that's just the faculty. And it was like one of like 4 occasions where all of these rich, douchey kids made disparaging remarks about being Jewish, which like really hammered home why Brendan Fraser kept it a secret that he was Jewish while he was at this school with these D-bags.
Can't imagine why somebody would not want to come out and say stuff like that when the people around him are constantly having remarks like that. I mean, that's the whole thing with, oh, that person wasn't gay the whole life. They just came gay. That's not happening. No, they were gay the whole time. But because you were so mad about people being gay, they didn't want to tell you. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's like people that we grew up with in Louisiana. It's like, I don't know any gay people. I'm like, no, you don't know that you know any gay people because they keep it a secret from you because you're a douchebag.
Right, exactly.
Big difference.
I also would have kept it a secret if I was Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, and then like at the end of the movie, we just have to give this away, but basically there's a much vaunted honor code at this school. Someone gets found cheating on this test, and they basically say like, they throw all the kids in a room and they go, you got to figure out who did it or we're going to flunk all of you. And they're all getting ready to go to Princeton or Harvard or whatever and go sexually assault a bunch of people and go be on the Supreme Court and be president or whatever.
Be running the whole thing.
And so they vote and decide that the Jew must have done it and not Matt Damon because no one was sure who did it. Matt Damon said that Brendan Fraser did it. Brendan Fraser said Matt Damon did it.
Brendan Fraser saw Matt Damon do it.
Yeah, and then one of their big arguments was like, well, he lied to us about being Jewish, so he probably lies about a lot of stuff. And it's like, dude, why wouldn't he lie about being Jewish? You guys have been making Jewish jokes the whole time he's been at your stupid school.
Right. It's not a stupid school. It's a preparatory school.
It's one of the finest preparatory academies in the nation. But yeah, I was trying. I'm with you. There weren't a ton of like standout scenes that I'm like, man, I got to go pull that up on YouTube and watch it in a couple of years.
Yeah, agreed.
But so I mainly picked scenes that I felt like covered important plot points or that I thought had good performances.
Right.
So I picked right before the dance when they were in the shower talking about all the Jews and commies at Harvard and Princeton.
Right. Yeah, that's a good scene, and I like that scene.
What's your next one?
My next one is when he's driving around and he's listening to Fats Domino.
Yeah.
That's it. He's just riding and listening to Fats Domino. And I just wanted a reason to tell you the story about how Fats Domino is actually the father of reggae. Does Fats Domino play reggae music? No. How is he the father of reggae, you might ask? Well, the way it works is reggae comes from islands in the Caribbean. When music was played on the radio in the 50s and the 60s, the radio stations on a clear night would leave New Orleans, where they're playing a lot of Fats Domino, and make it that far where you could pick it up really faintly on a transistor radio. But on those transistor radios, there's not a lot of bass. So Fats Domino's playing the piano with both hands. You're not getting any of the left hand at all. So you're only getting that right hand, that higher part. And if you listen to Fats Domino and take away just the left hand, that's basically what reggae music is. And all of those people that started the reggae movement grew up listening to Fats Domino and playing what they heard on there and then singing their own songs over the top of it. Basically just the New Orleans style piano. It's really hard to find stuff about that, but I heard it on some radio, NPR thing. And the guy was playing Josephine, the hello, Josephine, how do you do? Well, he's playing it, and then he just stops playing the left hand, and he keeps singing, and all of a sudden it just sounds like a reggae song. I was like, oh my God, that's how that works? That's amazing. So when he was playing Fats, I just heard that not that long ago again, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Fats Domino, father of reggae.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's crazy because my grandparents used to talk about when they were younger, so this is like in the 1930s, 1940s, something like that. In Denham Springs, they could hear the Grand Ole Opry from Nashville broadcast on Sunday nights because people would broadcast on AM bands, then the signal would travel further. There weren't as many radio stations, so there wasn't as much interference. And 500 miles away, they could hear it. In southern Louisiana, they could hear the Opry broadcast live on Sundays.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I know that, like, I used to listen to, like, on the way home from Saints games, my dad would play, like, WWL, and they're like 50,000 watts. And my dad's like, I was working in Chicago, and halfway past, like, St. Louis on a clear night, I could still hear WWL on the AM channel. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, anywho, Fats Domino, probably the father of ska/reggae music.
And a huge rock and roll star.
Yeah.
And Brendan Fraser was driving around listening to Ain't That a Shame, which is a phenomenal song.
Yeah, good song. What's your next one?
My next scene was Brendan Fraser and Matt Damon, not Matt Dillon. Matt Damon playing a guy named Dylan.
Yeah.
Sitting on the dock after their classmate had tried to kill himself because he forgot part of a French memorization assignment.
Yeah. It was a poem they memorized. I had to memorize in French, I think.
Yeah, they had this really hardcore French teacher, and he made them speak in only French, and it was clear that none of them knew any French, really, even though they were in their fourth year of French.
Right.
And they had to memorize a poem, and one kid got stuck and couldn't complete it, and like he just basically had a nervous breakdown, and then he like did the Dead Poet Society thing where he got fully dressed and put his tie on and went back to the classroom, and he recited the whole poem, and then I don't know if he like took a bunch of Advil or whatever, but they found him, and he was like almost dead. Did he take some? I couldn't tell if he took something or...
I think he just had like a mental break. Like, I think he just cracked.
Oh, okay. So he just looks like I couldn't tell. They didn't show him like ingesting anything, but he looked like he was like all like fell down and was all glassy eyed. But all right.
Yeah.
But anyway, after that happened, Brendan Fraser and Matt Damon are just sitting on the dock, like smoking cigarettes, and Brendan Fraser's just like, man, I thought a nervous breakdown was something to happen to like people in their 40s. I didn't know it could happen to a kid my age. And Matt Damon goes, well, there's so much pressure on it. Matt Damon goes basically, it's like, I envy you because you don't have any pressure. You came from Scranton, and if you get into Harvard, great. And if you don't care, you'll go on about your life. It's like, that's not, I wish I had that. Yeah. Because Matt Damon had I love Matt Damon's character. I love a bad guy with depth, and Matt Damon's character, we got shown and told exactly why he was the way that he was, and I really loved. But like, he's the youngest son, he's fifth generation going to Harvard. His older brother was a star quarterback, and his older brother's now the quarterback at Harvard. Brendan Fraser comes in and steals his quarterback job. Brendan Fraser comes in and steals his girl, and he's got all this pressure on him from his family, and you could see it molding him into the shitty kid that he is. Right. But I don't know. I really like when you know why someone is the way they are. And Matt Damon had I think that's probably the best part in this movie, the Matt Damon part. Brendan Fraser's the lead, but he's such a cookie cutter, like Superman good guy. And Matt Damon's actually got a lot of depth.
But that's a lot of the bad guys, like you said, the bad guy with depth. That's fun to watch because you could put yourself in that situation, especially if you can feel empathy. You're like, man, now I can see why he's actually doing this stuff. That sucks. That is a lot of pressure. I mean, I'm not going to stoop to the depths that he's stooping to, and maybe that's the lesson you're supposed to learn, but he's got a lot on his plate also. It
was powerful to see this like silver spoon rich kid who's, I'm sure, goes on to be a senator or something at the worst.
Right.
Just go like, I'm jealous of you, the coal miner, because you don't give a shit. It's all bonus for you. Like, there's no expectations on you.
That's a good place to be, where Brendan Fraser is.
Yeah, and I just think that that's how those schools worked then, and that's how they still work.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, you got to go to Harvard and be a doctor, or we're not going to love you anymore. How about just like be happy and make sure that you have health insurance and you could pay your like phone bill and like it's fine.
Right. That's it. I don't think people that come from that type of background feel that way.
Nah, I mean, I'm sure they don't, but man, I feel bad for them. I feel like that's, they're really missing it on that.
Yeah. By the way, it was on Seeing Elgin Marbles for the First Time by John Keats. That's the poem that they had to do a French translation of.
The oral history that I read, I think Chris O'Donnell said that he read for the Matt Damon part for this movie, and I don't think he said he was offered it, but I think he said he wanted to play the roommate, Brendan Fraser's roommate.
Yeah.
And he said, like, in retrospect, looking back, Matt Damon's character is a lot more interesting. But at that point in time, I was so young, I was so impressionable. I just thought I was drawn to the idea of just playing the good-hearted, like, good friend.
Right. The person who can see it.
Right. And he's a great guy in the movie. But it's funny that once he's in his 40s or 50s, looking back, he's like, man, Damon's part was way better. You got to really do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I've always liked Matt Damon, and he killed it in this. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah. What's your third scene?
I don't have a third scene. I really only had one scene.
My third one was also kind of tough to choose. I ended up picking the second to last scene, the penultimate scene in this movie when they're in the dean's office or in the headmaster's office.
Yeah, that part was cool.
So everybody votes. They decide the Jew did it very fairly, I'm sure. Brendan Fraser's like, all right, whatever, the hell with y'all. He's like, I'll go up there, you take your stupid honor code, and I'll go lie to the headmaster. And he goes to the headmaster to confess to cheating, which he has not done because he actually has honor, even though this bunch of rich white D-bags do not. And when he gets there, the head prefect, Matt Damon's character's roommate, is hiding in the wingback chair by the fireplace, and he's already turned in Matt Damon. He saw him cheat.
Right. Rip Van Kelt.
So they spent like 2 days. Yeah, Rip Van what?
Rip Van Kelt.
Rip Van Kelt. Yeah, I had him in my notes as Van Horn, but Van Horn was the forward for the Nets back when Jason Kidd was there.
He was not the same.
Not the same guy. Played by Balishnikov. No, that's
Randall.
That's the ballet dancer.
Batinkoff.
Randall Batinkoff. But anyway, Matt Damon's roommate, after spending 2 days pretending like he didn't know who cheated, finally like had an attack of conscience, beat Brendan Fraser to the headmaster's office, and turned in Matt Damon before Brendan Fraser could confess to cheating, which he had not done.
Right.
I don't know. Everybody's in the room, like just those two students, but the headmaster's there, and
there's a priest.
Yeah, and well, it's a freaking Catholic school, so obviously the priest is there. But anyway, Rip Van Kelt, he goes, You know, he was my roommate for 4 years. Like, I was his closest friend at school for all 4 years, and Brendan Fraser's this new kid. But then the headmaster's like talking to Brendan Fraser because Brendan Fraser goes, well, I violated the honor code too because I waited to turn him in. That's a violation. And the headmaster's like, yep, you and Mr. Van Kelp both violated the honor code, but we understand that they're extenuating circumstances and we've forgiven you both. He's like, let's just put all this behind us and let's just forget all about it. And Brendan Fraser goes, no, I'm not going to let you forget about it because I'm going to be here every day. And every day you see me, you'll remember that this happened. Like, you used me for football and I'm going to use you to get into Harvard.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome how he said it too.
And that line and that delivery was my friggin' favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I remembered it from when I was a little kid.
His delivery was really good in that part. And right after that too, when he goes out and sees Matt Damon and Matt Damon's driving past in a car and he's like, I'm still going to get into Harvard and you're still going to be a Jew.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but you're still going to be a prick or something like that. He like that whole part. That was good. Yeah, I should have picked that. That's a good scene. You're right.
Yeah, and that's the last scene as he walks out from the thing and like Matt Damon's in the car getting carted off. He got expelled from the finest preparatory academy in all the land.
Preparatory.
Yes. And Matt Damon, I mean, he's in the back seat, so I guess he literally like tells this chauffeur driver to stop so he can insult the Jew one more time. and he goes, in 10 years, no one's going to remember any of this. I'll still get into Harvard. And you'll still be a Jew. And maybe he insulted him, but clearly every time they said Jew, it was meant to be an insult, even though
exactly.
I think we're allowed to say that. I don't think we're insulting anybody.
Yeah, I don't think Jew's a bad word. I think it depends on how you say it.
Yeah, that's fair. But the way we're saying it is literally a descriptor of this guy's ethnic and religious group.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then Brendan Fraser goes, yeah, but he'll still be a prick. And that's how the movie ends.
Yeah, good.
No one learns anything. No one has any character well, Matt Damon in particular, his character did not change at all.
Right.
He was a spoiled silver spoon dipshit at the beginning, and he was a spoiled silver spoon dipshit after he got expelled.
Chris O'Donnell, I think, learned something.
Chris O'Donnell did. He had a character arc, and so did Brendan Fraser, and that's really the important arc. But normally I get really annoyed when people don't have any kind of character arc, but in this one I loved that Matt Damon didn't because I think that's so true to life.
Yeah, those people don't learn stuff.
You don't spend your whole life seeing everyone around you being a bigot and then suddenly decide that you're not going to be a bigot anymore.
I don't know. It worked for us. We're from down south, and I don't feel like we're bigots.
Well, our families aren't either.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I didn't grow up in a household where my dad was constantly making derogatory comments about other people's race, ethnicity, and religion.
Except for the Jews.
No, we didn't know any Jews. I didn't know a Jew until I was like 20.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand in this movie why they were so mad at him because I literally, as a kid, didn't know any Jewish people. I didn't even know the slurs. Like, all the stereotypes about Jews is like Brendan Fraser's like, go ahead and say it. Like, do you think Jews are greedy, money hungry, and they have big... I didn't know any of that. I didn't even know the stereotypes.
Yeah, me either. I'm like, did he just call him a kite? I don't think that's right. I'm like, that's not what he said.
That is not what he said. Dude, in this movie, Dick Wolf, he knew some slurs because he put in a bunch... I mean, he was Jewish.
That's what I was going to say. Dick Wolf is Jewish. So
yes, is Jewish, and he was the original writer of the screenplay and went on to write and produce Law and Order, and he wrote this based on his actual experiences in prep school.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Horrible.
Poor Dick Wolf.
Hang on, I all tabbed away.
I think it's funnier that it takes a second.
All right, quotes. What's your first quote?
I only have two.
All right.
The one I'll say first is my favorite. When it's in the very beginning, and they're at this diner, and they're hanging out at this popular diner, and some bikers show up. And they're like, oh, crap, some bikers are here. And Brendan Fraser's like, who cares? Well, the guy he's talking to is like, yeah, well, whoever the biker is, Steve, for lack of a term. Steve's sister gave me a hand job, and it was her idea. So then they go outside, and they're like, okay, cool. So then they go outside, and they're all like standing in a group in front of the door, and the bikers are like, yeah, we were thinking about going in there and get something to eat, you know? And like, no, I don't think it'll be a good idea. He's like, why not? They let Jews in, and they look right at Brendan Fraser. And dude, he just says, oh, your sister can come in, but she'll have to wash her hands. And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, what a great comeback. Like, Those are the type of things when you have arguments with people and you don't say anything, but then you're laying in bed thinking about the argument and you're like, oh, what if I would have said she could come in, but she's got to wash her hands? He just came up with it right away. It was great.
Dude, that's why you write movies, so that you can have the characters say all the things that you actually don't think of until later, much later. You can workshop it, and you go like, then I come right back with I liked that scene. I also like the bikers were like, it's freaking Scranton, PA. Shout out The Office. They just go like, you guys don't care that he's a Jew, and like, well, he killed Jesus. And then like his buddy goes, what do I care? I never met him.
Yeah.
I was like, how are the freaking coal miners in Scranton, PA more tolerant than the freaking Silver Spoon D-bags at the finest preparatory academy?
Preparatory. I think we know. I think we know why they're that way.
But yeah, I like that. Dude, I have a quote from that part in my worst, because when they're getting ready to fight, like Royal Rumble brawl the bikers, the owner of the diner says, take it to the alley.
Right.
Not don't fight. Please don't fight. If you fight, I'll call the police. She just says, go to the alley and beat the shit out of each other.
It's the 50s. And what did they do? They like, all right, fine. And they walked next to each other like they were on a date calmly to the alley and then stood there and started to fight. I don't know. How can you turn it on and turn it off like that? I just can't.
Dude, that would be like Obi-Wan and Darth Maul when the energy field is between them after Qui-Gon dies.
Yeah.
And instead of them just staring at each other, stink-on, if they just casually chatted about what they had for lunch.
Yeah.
They just breezily walked back to the alley.
Yes.
How's your mom? Great. See you on Sunday. Okay, let's beat the shit out of each other now. We've reached the alley.
Yes, we're now past the threshold of the alley. Let's start to punch it. Yeah. So what's your first
My
quote?
first quote is it's when he gets to the school. One of the other kids, they're all meeting the kids, and he says, I recruited him to play football, and one of the kids that had the big giant Coke bottle glasses says, football is a game for cretins, bug squashers, and criminals.
Yes. And
I liked that.
Yeah, that's a great quote. What's
I think that was the Magoo kid, the kid that had the giant Coke bottle lenses.
Yeah, that's the dude from Rent. What's his name?
Is that Cole Hauser?
No, that wasn't Cole Hauser, was it?
No, it was Anthony Rapp.
Rapp. That's it. Anthony Rapp. He's the guy who he ends up playing a Jew in Rent, and he hates Jews in this movie. He's very versatile.
He's a good actor. That's right. He can play the two different roles, either Jew or hates Jews. That's how Hollywood breaks it down.
Yeah, no, that was a good quote.
What's your next one?
My next quote is the weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows. When the guy who has the mental break, he's like McGivern, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in.
Mac.
Yeah, Mac. And he comes in and he's got like his like coat over his mouth, like the shadow, like the radio character, the detective. And he had comics and they made movies about it. And I straight up forgot that the shadow was a character. Like Orson Welles did his voice for a couple of years on the radio show.
Huh.
Like I used to have like old radio dramas of the Shadow show. So when he came in, I just literally, as soon as he said the Shadow, I was like, oh my God, I totally remember that.
Nice. I didn't know what the hell that was.
Yeah, the Shadow.
The next one I had is they were talking about, they were like disparaging Jewish people for like the 11 billionth time.
Yeah.
And Brendan Fraser just said, well, how would you know? How would you know if someone was Jewish? And Matt Damon goes, come on now, it's pretty hard to miss a Heb. And I was like, is that slang?
Yeah.
I'd never heard that before. Is that, I'm guessing that's short for Hebrew, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I literally
Heb.
never heard that before.
Yeah, Heb. No, I've definitely not heard that before. But that's definitely, it's got to be short for Hebrew.
I'm assuming that's what it is, and it clearly was not meant to be complimentary, but I was just like, that's such a freaking weird bit of dialogue. Again, I knew all kind of Catholics and some Baptists and some Episcopalians, and I think even probably some Methodists. I didn't know any Jewish people until I was literally in my 20s.
Yeah, but even if you met a Jewish person, do you think that like you sit down at dinner and you're like, all right, let's go over the slangs for each of us. So what do you have cracker? Okay. Hunky ass white boy. Got that? What you have? Hebe?
No, I just I didn't there was a lot of prejudice where we grew up.
Right.
And it's all still there now.
Yeah, boy,
but it wasn't towards Jewish people because we didn't know any Jewish people. I mean,
very few Jews.
I was the outsider at our Catholic school, and I was freaking Episcopalian, which is as fucking Catholic as you can be without actually being Catholic. And they were still sit in the corner, Episcopalian. No one wants to talk to you. I was like, all right, I don't give a fuck about y'all anyway.
I'm saying that you were probably more Catholic than some of these other people that were actually Catholic. Just because you had to go through the whole thing so much, you probably know more than they know already.
I went to hundreds of Catholic masses.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
When we get to the Matrix part of the future where you can add memories and take memories out, I'm taking all that shit out.
You're not going to want to remember having to stand up and do the head, shoulders, knees, and toes and sitting and kneeling.
I'll store all of those Catholic masses on a Johnny Mnemonic memory drive. It's got 128 megabytes.
I don't think you want to get rid of those because I know you outside of this podcast, and I know that you want to have those to continue to realize why you hate them so much.
That's true. I feel I can keep probably 3 or 4 masses, and that would be enough for me to remember why I don't like it. I don't need to keep all of them.
I just think of Richard Jenny constantly. Mass is actually short for massive head trauma from your mom whacking you in the head every 10 seconds. But you're 7, and the priest says, Hosanna. What are you supposed to do? Oh, Hosanna.
I just kept thinking the whole movie about Ricky Gervais because I know it's real. I get that it happens, but it's dude, the Ricky Gervais tweet, there have been nearly 3,000 gods so far, but only yours actually exists. The others are silly made-up nonsense, but not yours. Yours is real.
Right.
I don't like my imaginary friend can beat up your imaginary friend, and we don't want to be friends with you because you believe in a different imaginary friend.
Yeah, dude, that's every war. I tell that to my students all the time. I was like, guys, that's why we have to talk about religion. There's so many wars over, do you believe in God? No. Do you believe in God? Yes. Do you believe in my God? No. And they just go down the line killing people.
It just doesn't have to be that way because I don't care. What
you don't
you
care.
Call your God whatever you want. I just don't want to hear about it, and let's just all be nice to each other, and then that would be fine.
Yeah, but people aren't nice, and they care way more than you do, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, I know that's why people make movies like this, but Jesus fucking Hebe.
Is that what the H stands for in Jesus H Christ? It stands for Hebe.
Jesus, Hebrew, Christ. David, do y'all's people eat oatmeal? I know y'all hate Jesus, but I wasn't sure if y'all's people ate oatmeal.
Oh, this is going to get cut out. So I do have a third quote. Are you ready for it? There's a part where Brendan Fraser's just getting to the preparatory school, and he pulls up and he says, Jesus, this is a high school? And that little tiny throwaway line, for some reason, I couldn't stop thinking, do Jews say that? Do they go, Jesus?
Yeah, why not? Jesus was Jewish.
No, I know, but
do they say it as in an exclamation?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Probably not.
I don't know why I even thought that, but the whole time I almost had to pause it again. I was just like, did the Jewish guy just say Jesus like that? As an exclamation? That was my third quote.
All right. My third one was don't forget to leave room for the Holy Ghost.
With a balloon.
Which we've already talked about because that's a very real thing that Catholic schools were doing up until 20 years ago.
Yeah. This is, they still do it, I'm sure. They don't use balloons. Also, I don't think this was this wasn't a Catholic school.
It wasn't?
No, I think it was one of those...
like a Presbyterian or something?
Yeah, offshoot of Catholicism.
Well, the Catholics would murder the shit out of them.
They went to chapel 3 times a week, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's more than we went." And I had to go on Sunday and also again on Wednesday. No, when did we have it at St. Thomas? Mondays.
I don't know.
Monday mass,
back to back double headers.
Yeah, we had the double header. I had the Sunday mass and then also Monday.
A double dose.
Now I'm Catholic in the same way that if a cow was born in a tree, he's a bird. So I don't have to worry about that quite as much. I don't have any more quotes.
Yeah, me neither. Characters. My first character is Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell. I had him also. Chris Reese in the movie.
Chris Reese in the movie. He's Brendan Fraser's character's roommate. He's the only one who, once they find out that Brendan Fraser's Jewish, isn't a total D-bag to him.
Right.
And I like Chris O'Donnell. It's like young babyface Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he was really good. This is before he became Robin.
Before he became Robin, yeah, that was not a great career move for him. But at the time, who wouldn't have done that? Joel Schumacher, Batman and Robin?
Yeah, that sounds great. And Ben Affleck's in this, and he plays Batman. So we have Batman and Robin in the same movie.
Batman and Robin. This is Chris O'Donnell's third movie. Later this year, he's going to get cast in Scent of a Woman, which he's going to be nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
And the casting for Scent of a Woman happened during the filming of this movie, and they were filming somewhere in like D.C. or Maryland or Pennsylvania or something.
Close, right.
And a bunch of the actors from this movie left the shoot to go to New York to audition for Scent of a Woman, like Balishnikov, whatever his name is.
Batinkoff.
Batinkoff, thank you. Keith Van Horn for the New Jersey Nets. And Matt Damon and Chris O'Donnell. And Chris O'Donnell got the part and then won a Golden Globe.
Yeah.
Or got nominated for a Golden Globe.
He did a great job in that movie, too. I liked it.
Yeah, he did.
I jokingly said that Ben Affleck plays Batman and that Chris O'Donnell played Robin. There's a lot of overlap in these movies. Because, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and the other guy, the red-haired guy who I thought was Michael Fassbender, but it wasn't.
Cole Hauser.
Hauser, thank you. He was in Good Will Hunting with those two.
Yep.
And then, he was in Dazed and Confused, and I think, wasn't Affleck in Dazed and Confused? So, there's a lot of, overlap.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I like that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were both in this movie, even though Ben Affleck he had a really minor part. He had, probably one of the smallest speaking parts that you could have, but he was one of the guys on the football team, and he's one of the guys in the dorm, so he was in a lot of the movies, but he didn't have a lot of lines.
Right, yeah.
Kind of like in Rudy when Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn are both in the movie together, and Vince Vaughn doesn't really have much of a part, but they were really close friends. They both did this movie together early on. That was it was a similar, that's what I kept thinking of. It's like Rudy, Jon Favreau's got a lot to do, but Vince Vaughn has not that much to do. But later on,
they switched it around. When I was telling somebody about Unforgiven and how much I was like, I just don't like the way Clint Eastwood delivers. I don't have a problem with him. He seems like he plays the same part, just gritting through his teeth. It's like, like Keanu Reeves. And he's like, or Vince Vaughn. I was like, oh man, never thought of that. Vince Vaughn does kind of play the same guy in a lot of these movies. Luckily, it's dropped down hilarious for me, so I really like it.
He's playing Vince Vaughn, who's freaking hilarious. He's not playing that boring-ass Clint Eastwood, who's not funny at all.
Yeah.
If you're playing the same character and the character's awesome, it's fine.
Right.
Or you just got to pick your movies right. But I think, dude, you don't have to have a lot of range. Keanu Reeves, I like his stuff.
Vaya con Dios, man.
Vaya con Dios. Kevin Costner, he didn't have a ton of range. I like Kevin Costner.
Robin, why won't you follow us? Because I am not one of you. Oh, okay, cool.
Because I am not one of you.
Is he Kennedy?
Because I am not one of you.
Just for the record, this woman is not my wife, but I am sleeping with her.
And so I says to him, that car was already flipped over when I got there. And besides that, your grandmother shouldn't have been mouthing off like that.
Freaking pillowcase full of doorknobs.
All right, let's put a bar of soap in a sock and let's get the rest of this thing done. What's your next character?
I had Chris O'Donnell, and then I picked Brendan Fraser because I thought I should.
Okay,
I liked it. I liked his part. I liked how he was he gave it all of the things. Like he was very matter of fact. He was a little too quick to fight for me, but maybe that's the 50s. I don't like fighting, but I like how he always stood up for himself and he always had the good comeback. Plus, 5 years after this, he plays George of the Jungle, and you could totally see it when he was pretending to be a monkey. He was hanging, and he said the and hit his chest. I was like, oh man, that's some foreshadowing. But
I thought that too.
The whole time, I was just like, that's really good, and I like him. I like Brendan Fraser, and I can't wait for his new movie.
I got Brendan Fraser on my list as well. He's really good here as the outsider, even though in real life he's not Jewish. He just you could tell he's tall and he's kind of aloof. He just didn't fit in with the rest of the group of guys, even though in real life these guys are all in their early 20s. I think Cole Hauser was 16, but the rest of them were in their early 20s.
Yeah.
But they even said that Brendan Fraser kind of stayed apart during the filming. The production put him up in a hotel. And at some point, they were like, this hotel sucks. Let's get out of here. And a bunch of them went and rented apartments in town. And Brendan Fraser didn't go. He just stayed in the hotel.
Yeah.
And I think somebody in the oral history was like, I don't know if that was part of the character, if that's just who Brendan is, but it worked.
Yeah, it did. And you know what?
But like, dude, he did Encino Man earlier this year, so he goes from Encino Man to this, and I think in just those two movies, which are really his first two movies, you could see how much range he has as an actor.
Yeah, I think he's a great actor. Now that I think about it, a couple of years from here, he does With Honors, where he goes to Harvard. So maybe this is the sequel we were looking for.
I like With Honors.
Yeah, boy, oh boy, Harvard, I tell you. That whole, yeah, I loved it. Dude, does Matt Damon go to Harvard in Good Will Hunting?
Yes. Well, he doesn't. He's the janitor at Harvard.
Oh, that's right.
So after he gets kicked out of his preparatory school, he has to go be a janitor.
Preparatory.
At Harvard because he can't get in.
Right. These
Harvard.
are sequels. We should pitch these as
and Ben
a trilogy.
Affleck somehow also isn't able to get into Harvard and is like laying brick. And Cole Hauser's there too. It's literally half of the movie.
Yeah, it's not a euphemism though either.
It's not a euphemism. It's actually his job.
Yeah. He's parking cars in Harvard Yard. There's a couple other things I put in there. The Brendan Fraser is number 42 in the movie for football. That's Sid Luckman's number, and he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was a quarterback for the Bears.
Nice.
And he was also Jewish.
Yes, he was.
And that made me think of how many Jews are actually in the NFL. Other than Sid Luckman, like I knew that name, but I went through and found a bunch of them. Do you want me to rattle them off right quick?
Yes.
Lyle Alzado. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. Lyle Alzado, Brad, Julian Edelman, Jay Fiedler, Andrew Klein, Josh Miller, Josh Rosen, Sage Rosenfels, and my personal favorite, Andre Tippett. He's a very large defensive lineman for the Patriots, and he doesn't look Jewish at all because he is a large black man. But he converted when he got married
to Whoopi Goldberg.
He's not married to Whoopi Goldberg.
I know, but she's also black and Jewish.
So is Sammy Davis Jr. The point is, he just didn't look Jewish. And of all the people that when I looked it up, they had like a bunch of pictures, and I was like, "Whoa, there's a big, tall black guy. That's not Jewish." And then I had to read the story behind Andre Tippett.
Dude, I may have to double check on this, but every time you say like, "Let me tell you about all the Jews in the NFL," I just feel like we're gonna get in trouble. Like I feel like in 30 Rock when it's like, "Yeah, I've been dating Elisa. She's Puerto Rican." It's like you can't say that. It's like, oh, really? What do you call yourself? Puerto Rican. I know you say that, but what do I call you? Puerto Rican. Are you sure that doesn't sound right?
Yeah. Dude,
it's not a slur, it's their heritage, but I still feel like I've done something wrong.
Yeah, I think it's because of the movie you just watched. I think it's okay.
It definitely is.
I think it's okay.
So we both have Chris O'Donnell, we both have Brendan Fraser. Who's your third?
Batinkoff. Rip Van Winkle. I put him as
Keith
my
Van Horn.
Yeah, Keith Van Horn is my Rip Van Kelt, played by Randall Batinkoff. I put him down because he is one of those people who had a change of heart. His character couldn't take the pressure of knowing the actual. He couldn't watch Brendan Fraser go down, and I like that. I put him down for that one. There's not too much about this dude. He doesn't really stand out in any other way except that, but that's a good way to stand out, I think.
Yeah, he didn't get fleshed out that much. He was captain of the football team. He was the head prefect. He was clearly a big man on campus.
What does head prefect mean?
I think the prefects are like the hall monitors.
Yeah.
And I think the head prefect is the one in charge of the hall monitor. It's weird because I've only ever heard the term from Harry Potter, but it's sort of like students who can discipline other students. And it seems like, why would anyone want that job? But I think the finest preparatory academies in the land.
Preparatory.
You want to put it on your freaking. I'm going to Harvard. Guess how much prefect I was. I was the maximum amount of prefect.
There is no more prefect other than me.
I have Matt Damon is my third character.
I liked his character, like you said. They had a backstory. He played such a jerk, and you're supposed to hate him. So I think I'm going to change how I do this. I know we're 18 episodes into the season, but I think I'm going to start changing it because
Do it.
I've been doing the best as like, oh, these are the best characters. These are the ones that I like. And I think I'm supposed to hate Matt Damon, and I should have put him down.
Yeah, I think, dude, you do it however you want to do it.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it.
If you're doing best character is like the best people to date your sister, that's fine. But if you want to do it like the people who did the best job in the movie, that'd be fine too.
Yeah, I'm gonna change it to like MVP. So I think I'm gonna do it like the character that changes the movie the most. That's how I'm going with for now.
I don't know. I'm just going by feel. I could not defend this in a court of law.
Yeah.
I just thought Matt Damon did a good job. I thought it was an interesting character. And it's hard to play someone who's that douchey that is also relatable.
Right. I mean, I wrote down in my notes like 4 times, Matt Damon's killing it.
I love a Matt Damon heel turn. I watched Talented Mr. Ripley like 3 weeks ago. I just love how he goes from like being super likable to being terrifying.
He is absolutely terrifying in that movie.
That's what I'm saying. I really like that when he does that. And he doesn't do it much, but you know that he can.
Yeah, I like me some Damon.
Speaking of Balishnikov, Keith Van Horn, whatever that guy's name is. Batinkoff. He's in 2 other movies in 1992, and we've done both of them.
Well, really? Which?
He's in The Player, and he's in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which we will do in another month or so.
Yeah, I remember one person that was in The Player. Actually,
it was Tim Robbins' junk.
Yeah, I was going to say Tim Robbins and his Pepe.
I got a bonus best for Amy Locane, who plays Sally Wheeler, the one and only girl in this movie.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah.
She did a good job.
I liked her. She was Brendan Fraser's girlfriend in, what's the movie with Adam Sandler, him, and who's Crazy Eyes, from Mr. Deeds? Oh, God.
It's Steve Buscemi.
Buscemi, yeah. So it's Buscemi, Brendan Fraser, and Adam Sandler. Airheads.
Yeah, oh my God.
The Lone Rangers. We're the Lone Rangers. Well, there's 3 of you. You're not exactly lone. She plays his girlfriend in that.
Yeah, she's good. She didn't do a ton with this part, but I thought she was really likable. And I was wondering, like, man, I feel like she didn't work as much as she should have because she was really good.
Maybe it's because she was on the swim team and all during practice she was breathing every stroke. Come on, Sally. She really was breathing. Dude, she was really breathing every stroke. And the whole time I was like, oh, this must be a swimming class. And then they were like, get back to practice. I was like, what the hell?
Well, but here's the thing. You can tell she's not I'm not saying her. She's probably very good at swimming. Her character is not a good swimmer because the coach didn't care if she got out of practice to go talk to a guy.
Right.
Because you and I swam for a lot of years, and there's no circumstance under which we could have left the pool to just chat with someone who dropped by to talk to us.
No, Mr. Jeffrey. This no talk practice. This swim practice.
This no talk practice. This swim practice.
Yeah, I love how she sucked at swimming. That was cool.
She's got a really sad personal story, though. I mean, it's more sad for other people, but she has served several years in prison for having killed someone driving while intoxicated.
Holy hell. That's why she's not working.
Dude, it's honestly, it's a really strange case. She basically, I mean, she killed someone while, some old guy turning into his driveway. She just slammed into him while drunk, killed him. Blood alcohol level 0.23, which is wicked high.
Yeah.
But she served like 2.5 years. And then once she got out and got paroled, some attorney general or judge or something in New Jersey where this happened decided she hadn't been punished enough, and they sent her back to prison for 8 more years.
How they can decide that?
I honestly don't understand because I'm not a lawyer, but it didn't. I mean, it's like this is ongoing right now. Like they're appealing it, but it's like she served a sentence, she got released, and they went like, no, wait, we changed our mind. You didn't serve enough time. You have to go back. But it's super messed up.
Who's the lawyer on retainer for the podcast? We should ask them if they could figure that out, because I'd like to know how they can just go back and add more to it.
I'm curious about that too. We'll have to get intern Mike Jones to track down what our representation thinks about that.
I'm going to represent myself.
If you're representing yourself, your client is an idiot.
I got no other characters.
I'm through with this guy, Your Honor.
I'm through with this guy. Would you like me to tell you? I would love to hear this. What a fantastic movie. Let's go watch that one again.
Writer, director, actor's background. Dick Wolf.
Writer, Dick Wolf. The other guy who wrote with him didn't really write that many other things. Daryl Poniscan?
No, well, this original story and original screenplay is by Dick Wolf from Law & Order. And then another screenwriter, I think, like updated it because when he wrote it, a lot of time passed before it got made.
Yes, but Dick Wolf doesn't just do Law and Order. He wrote for Hill Street Blues, Miami Vice, Law and Order, Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Criminal Intent, Law and Order Trial by Jury. And then all those Chicago shows like Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med, Chicago Justice.
And let's not forget, he wrote several novels in the universe of Law and Order. Yeah, he wrote a lot of stuff, but mainly Law and Order.
All right. I'm glad you still have that button. I'm glad we decided to go with that.
The thing that sucks is I'm not printing the audio when I press that button, so I'm going to have to in post figure out where every one of those lands. So I'm really f***ing myself here. Whatever. It's fine. There's no link that I won't go to for a stupid joke. So
Well, you can come in, but you got to wash your hands. So the director, Robert Mandel.
Yeah.
The only other movie I've seen that he's done, he did a lot of TV movies, but the only other one that I saw that he did was The Substitute. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have. It's been a long time. Tom Berenger.
Yeah, but that's all I got. I don't have too much for that guy. Like, other than Dick Wolf, I got no... I got nothing.
I don't either. I mainly also focused on He Who Shall Not Be Named.
I do have a couple of other goods. Can I throw them out here?
Yeah.
Okay. The French teacher, whatever his name is.
I think it's Mr. Cleary.
Mr. Cleary. That's right. They take his car and they put it in his room.
Yes, they do.
That's like real genius. Remember when they did that to Kent? What do you do to get a car and you take it apart? Like, you don't have enough time to do that.
They did it like while he was on his walk. So they did it really fast. So I think you're supposed to believe that they picked the car up and walked it into his room. I'm guessing he's on the bottom floor. I don't know.
Golly, how big are the windows and the doors?
I don't know. I'm hoping double doors at least, because otherwise I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if you had like 8 guys, you could pick up a, whatever 1950 Studebaker or whatever the hell he was driving.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of car that was.
If you're asking me like, dude, let's carry it up the stairs, it'll be a great prank. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's just toilet paper
Look,
his house.
once we get to the first landing and make the turn, it's up. No, pass.
Pivot.
Pass.
Pivot.
I'm going to put my side down. I'm just going to put it down.
Yeah, dude, I don't want to. After helping you and Kyle move armoires, I don't want to move anyone's Studebaker inside.
Every time somebody's like, yeah, I got to help my friend move, I was like, let me tell you a story about my friend Kyle, who moved an armoire full of moon rocks up to the 3rd floor of another apartment, and then like 3 months later moved back and asked me to help him move again.
Dude, one of my favorite things about being 40 is that no one asks me to help them move.
Yeah. Every time somebody's like, can you help me? I was like, yes, I'll be there and I'll start setting up the TV for you.
Let me know when the pizza arrives and I'll come help you open boxes in the air conditioning.
I liked how the dean was giving his speech in the chapel and how he's talking about like honor over personal gain and all that stuff. And it was very heavy-handed and it's very honorable and all that kind of stuff. And then I started thinking about how you're right, these are the guys that are probably running the country. They leave and go to Harvard, they go to those Ivy League schools, and then they get jobs where they get a chance to be lawyers and then move up to, representatives or senators or something like that. They completely forget the whole honor and personal gain thing over personal gain as soon as they get into office, which is sad.
That's why I liked / hated that the third act of the movie hinges on all the boys being in a room and trying to decide, do they want to vote the Jew off of their island or do they want to vote their buddy off of the island? And like, obviously they all immediately go for cronyism because they don't like the new guy because he's
different,
believes in a different God.
Right. It's different.
And I was like, man, this thing is scarily accurate for how our world works. There's an honor code, but they don't care. They're just going to make sure they protect their buddies. And then they're all going to all go golf together and bomb Syria.
Yeah, I like that.
But that's borrowing from the worst.
Yeah, sorry.
You ready for worst?
I got some worst. What you got?
The first thing I have is the St. Matthew's Academy in Massachusetts. Are they running the wing T? What the kind of offense is that their football team's running?
Oh, man, I have so much stuff about football in here.
Yeah, we're like an hour 30 into this recording. I don't think we have time to really break down the football too much, but the offense, it's like in the era where the freaking helmets don't even have face masks.
Yeah, there was very few face masks, and the people who did, they just had the one bar, like the kicker face mask.
The punter single bar.
Right.
And their football pants were like baggy canvas Levi's. They weren't like stretchy, skin-tight football pants.
Super thick. I put like, they're playing in like big white sweatshirts, and they're like so thick, and they're like burlap. I don't understand. Tiny shoulder pads. When they ran out of the huddle, and they all like ran out.
Dude, he literally at one time in the huddle said, "All right, on 2, ready, break." And then he got to the line. He said, "Hut 1, hut 2," and I jumped off sides, and no one else moved. And then he said, "Hut 3," and everyone went.
Oh man, that's so awesome. Man, I wonder what it's like to play football in long sleeve sweatshirts made of burlap. That sounds horrible. And dude, were they playing Iron Man? Like, were they playing both sides? I didn't see anybody ever change.
Yeah, it seemed like they were playing both ways.
I could see that. I saw the shower scene.
It all looks horrible.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to play. I don't want to.
Yeah, it looked pretty boring. I got to be honest. I wasn't feeling
But
it.
in the beginning, when they were like, "We got our new quarterback, David Green. We're going to drop some passing plays this year. Y'all be ready."
Newt Rockney called it the forward pass. Stick with me, son.
What's next on your worst?
My worst was when every time they showed the history teacher.
I knew you were going to put that
Dude,
down.
it hit home so hard for me because I was like, what is this guy doing? He was yelling out stuff, and they had to yell the date. They had to tell him the date that it happened.
Yeah.
That is insanely stupid.
Dude, if you want to know why our country is so shitty since the baby boomers reached the age where they were in charge, it's because they learned history by people going like, William the Conqueror, and they have to go, 1066.
Right.
Why would you learn history that way?
Yeah,
what the hell is the point of that?
That they don't learn history like that in Mr. Horn's class. Dude, I am adamantly opposed to even having multiple choice questions where they have to like memorize stuff and regurgitate it. Like, I don't get, like, what was that guy doing? I was for real. I was like getting upset. Oh, poor Matt Dillon didn't know any of the answers. And I was like, this poor fella.
As a personal credo on the level of be nice to people, not on the level, but it's like one tiny baby step below that is no one should have to remember anything they can easily look up.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree. There's a teacher on campus that makes them fill in. They have to memorize the periodic table. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's in a table it's in a table. So it's easily accessible. Every lab has one on the wall. Like, why memorize that?
The person who invented the periodic table won a Nobel Prize for it.
Right.
That's how big of an achievement and coming up with the periodic table was. And this person wants to throw it away to memorize 190 elements that if you're not a chemist, you'll only ever need to know about 6 of.
Right. Yeah. You barely need to know any of the information. Like, they need to know, like, hey, how many electrons are at the end of this row? How many, what's the friggin' weight of this one? Like, what? Who cares?
That shit drives me batty. I can't imagine why.
Dude, that history teacher.
We're also screwed.
Yeah, that history teacher was doing straight bad work.
Yeah, I had that in the worst, obviously, because I said if this finest preparatory academy in the country was teaching future presidents by making them memorize dates and French passages, it's no wonder that we're all screwed.
Right. It's a good call.
I don't think I have anything else. That's it.
Old tech alert real fast. When they made a turn one time, there was no blinker. He had to hold his arm out and tell him he was turning left. So he had to do the bent arm pointing down so he knew.
He had to do the bent arm.
Yeah.
That was the coach. He was driving a wood-paneled Studebaker wagon.
Yeah, Studebaker.
Political incorrectness? Yeah, all of it.
Oh, the whole thing.
Tons of bigotry, tons of prejudice, slurs against Jewish people and against black people, and just generally rich white kids being horrible.
Yeah. The last thing I have for the bad thing is, this is a dead serious question. I'm not just saying this. What is it that people don't like about Jews?
I honestly don't know. I think that there's all kind of conspiracy theories about how they secretly control all the media, but I think that's just because there are a lot of successful Jewish people. I don't understand.
That's like now, but like in the course of history, like.
Oh, you're talking about like going back to Moses? I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm just talking about Jews in general. Like, why do people always pick the Jews? Just because they're easy?
I don't know.
Because they're to pick on? Like, it's just crazy. Like, people are such dicks.
They're huge dicks.
I don't understand. Dude, I don't even understand, like, I mean, I guess I do understand it being from South Louisiana, but, like I was reading something where they were all singing Smokey Joe's Cafe. Yeah. That was written by a Jewish guy. Yeah. Like, just like when people are like, I don't like black people and I don't think they should go to the same school as me, but since they do, I really want to pull for them on the football team. Like, I don't.
Dude, I don't.
Like,
I mean,
why do they want it both ways?
I don't.
Like, you can't.
No, I don't understand. I don't understand why. I don't understand why anybody. Like, dude, I was listening to a book about an audiobook while I was working this week about the history of extinction events, and at one point, when the humans and the Neanderthals were all here at about the same time and the Ice Age came and the Neanderthals died out, the prevailing theory right now is that there was about 10,000 to 20,000 humans alive at one time. That's the size of Hammond, all living on the west coast of Africa. That's fucking everybody.
So close to almost not being here.
And now people are mad because someone's invisible God is not the same as your invisible God, or someone has slightly more melanin. I don't fucking understand it. I don't. And we're all cousins. Literally, there was like a Hammond's worth. There was the whole world of humans. I don't get it.
This is the thing, though. There are people that don't believe that.
That's fine.
How do you know that? You don't know that.
I don't.
I'm like, yeah, we can make really educated guesses. Anthropologists and archaeologists can look at the stuff left behind and make educated assumptions, and that's what we come up with.
The people who don't believe that are the people who have a freaking painting of white Jesus riding a Tyrannosaurus Rex on their house.
No, it is. I know. But like, when I make them do this diagnostic test, I ask them, how old is the Earth? And they'll say like, I don't know, 2022 years old. I was like, okay, you're not thinking this through. And then they're like, I'm like, what about BC? Like, you've heard of like 22 BC. Like, what is that? They're like, oh yeah, before Christ. I'm like, so were there's people before Jesus? And they're like, oh yeah, I guess there was. And like, the more they think about it, they're like, oh, okay, yeah. But we're not monkeys. I'm like, no, I never said you were monkey. Like, that's not what we're talking about. Like, they just don't, I don't think that people are thinking it through. And if you told somebody all of the people were 10,000 people, they're just going to go, nah.
Dude, anybody who's offended by the suggestion that humans are related to monkeys has definitely never had a baby. Because we have a baby, it looks exactly like a monkey. He's got big, long arms. He's climbing on shit all the time. He could easily fit in with a crowd of monkeys.
He looks like an ape. Monkeys have tails. He doesn't have a tail, does he?
No, he doesn't have a tail. Not anymore. We got it fixed.
We crop that off because it just looks better with his ears. Dude, we talk every single year. That lesson is coming up at the end of this week. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have a parent-teacher conference. There's way too many people that are super religious that are in these classes. And I'm going to tell them that we're technically apes, but we're not like orangutans. Those broke off. But if you go back far enough, us apes and monkeys all came from a common ancestor. Like, the tree gets smaller on the way down. I don't understand how you can.
Not only that, but like the DNA overlap between us and like a fucking lobster is like 90+%. Like, we're all the same shit.
I just don't understand why people hate Jews. I don't understand why they say, I hate all the Jews and I Jewed them down. And they said all the different derogatory terms that they could come up with. And then they sang along to Smokey Joe's Cafe, which is also clearly a bop and super catchy.
Great song. I guess maybe I'll just take our whole like 20-minute rant about education and stick that on the Patreon for people. I didn't have any cameos.
Yeah, there's 1,000. We're not. I don't have any either. I didn't write anything.
5 questions. Is this okay for kids? What age?
Dude, it was weird for me because I put 14.
Yeah.
I said there's no problem with language. There wasn't any sexual stuff. They talked about handy, but the message I thought was a little heavy.
Yeah.
Like, I think 13, 14 is probably good. Nothing before that.
Yeah, that seems right to me.
Yeah.
Would it get made if it were pitched now? Yeah, it would.
I mean, anti-Semitism is pretty much over, so I don't know that they would.
Now that we've conquered that, maybe not. No, it's still going strong.
Can I read 5 news headlines that I took literally just from the last week since I watched this movie?
Okay.
Anti-Semitic flyers distributed in Jersey Shore town. Trump-backed Carrie Lake pulls endorsement for Oklahoma candidate over anti-Semitic comments. GOP nominee for Arizona governor denounces endorsee statement that Jews are, quote, evil. Canada ends anti-racist program with advisor who says Zionists are human feces. Like, these are all within the last week.
Yeah, and that's just the stuff that was said by people who are important enough to make newspapers with their commentary.
Right. Tons of those type of people.
Yeah, so we definitely could make this movie if it were pitched now. I do think it would be a movie.
Yeah, a movie for sure.
I don't know where you get 8 22-year-old actors that I would recognize, but...
yeah, I can only come up with 4, but I had 4 that I really liked.
All right, you go, because I got nothing.
All right, so the David Green character, I want Timothée Chalamet playing that.
Yep.
And then Matt Dillon is played by Tom Holland.
Mm-hmm.
The Rip Van Winkle character is Boo Boo Stewart. I don't know if you know who that is. He was on the Descendant movie my daughter loves. And then I want the Cole Hauser, the guy who's like, remember they kept blaming him for stuff, even though he was like, you're not putting it on me, like that whole thing. I thought about that because he was kind of like persecuted also a little bit, not as much as the Jewish kid, but you know. So I said, maybe that's where I can put my person of color. So I chose Jaden Smith.
Nice.
Will Smith's younger son.
Yeah, but isn't he like 28 now? I don't know.
I think he's like in his early 20s, right? I don't know.
Maybe so. He's been around a long time. He's 24.
24. There you go. That ain't
you
bad.
can do it.
That's close enough. And he looks young.
Yeah, that's good. I like that you keep saying Matt Dillon instead of Matt Damon.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I wrote Matt Dillon all throughout my
I
notes.
did too. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I'd have got Timothée Chalamet and Tom Holland. Those are the only actors I know that look like they're under 25. Can you still watch and enjoy this movie in 2022? For me, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I definitely enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. It's well acted. It's got some good stuff. It makes you think a little bit. It's got a lot of people that went on to do cool stuff that you can go, oh, look at that guy. He did stuff. He was in Rent.
Oh, wait, I've seen this guy's movie.
I remember what happens here. The lullabies.
Who's that guy? What'd that guy say when I said, who's that guy? So, anything else?
Nah.
You can watch it on HBO Max, but
you can watch it on HBO Max. That's what I did. You can rent it also wherever you rent movies. Next episode, I think we said Lethal Weapon 3, right?
Lethal Weapon 3.
We're getting too old for this shit.
Boy, oh boy, hop. No, wait, that's the wrong movie. But he's in that movie. Isn't he in 3? Yeah.
And Renee Russo, right? Is she in Lethal Weapon 3?
They all run together for me. I don't know. Is Matt Dillon in it? I'll know in exactly 13 days when I watch it, right before I've...
Yes, exactly.
What else?
Thanks for listening. Please feel free to check out our Patreon. You can find it on our website, movielifecrisis.com, or you can just go to Patreon and search the podcast. We'll be releasing bonus episodes there from 1990. Coming up next, Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Man, that was a fun one to do.
That was really fun. If you want to hear how Richard Gere and Julia Roberts got pulled into that movie that was not supposed to even be Julia Roberts and how it ended up making $470 million, you can go to Patreon and hear it.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to that one again when you release it. I can't wait.
Nice.
Vaya con Dios.
Vaya con Dios.
Thanks for listening to Movie Life Crisis. Please subscribe, rate, and review, and remember, don't drive angry.